新世紀エヴァンゲリオン
Okay, let's read stage 43 of Neon Genesis Evangelion Jinmon. Jinmon means cross-examination or interrogation. The previous chapter ended here with another Shito attack and Kaji grabbing onto Shinji and talking about some things. And then now, here we go, Jinmon. Beep, beep. Entry start. Entry start. So this, I guess, is unit number 1. Erushiaru Denka. The LCL is, I don't know, something about the power. Denka. Electrified? No. It is that Den. Overpowered, maybe? I don't, it's not coming up. Well, that's weird. This would be like electricity and then like too much. So whatever about the LCL, the power is too much. The A10 Shinkei Setsuzoku Kaishi. So this is whatever the A10 nerve Setsuzoku connection is beginning. So they're beginning the nerve connection. Okay, so it's Ray. Suddenly she's like, "Ooh, pulse gyakuryu." So pulse reverse flow. Gyaku ryu. Yeah, countercurrent or regurgitation. Regurgitation of pulse. Shogoki Shinkei Setsuzoku o kyozetsu shite imasu. So unit number 1, the nerve connection is doing kyozetsu, like a big termination. Yeah, rejection. Masaka, sonna. It can't be. Ikari. Ah, yep. Watashi o kyosetsu suru tsumori ka? Intending to do rejection of me? Intending to do rejection of me. Hido chushi, cancel activation. Dame nano ne. It's no good. Mo. That's just like frustration. Or no longer. It's no longer any good. I don't know. This is Shinji's unit, so maybe it's rejecting having her in it. Is that what they're saying? Rei wa 0号機で出撃させろ. So, as for Rei, in the 0 unit, like make launching or make go out. 小号機はダミープラグで再起動だ. As for the first unit, with the dummy plug, like reactivate. It's reactivation. しかし、0号機は, but as for the first unit, or the 0 unit, 構いません. I don't care, or I don't mind. Ray, what about Ray? 行きます. I'll go. 私が死んでも Kawari wa iru mono. Okay, so she's thinking, like, even if I die, as for kawari, they also exist. As for replacements, as for exchange. Yeah, as for substitutes, replacements, they exist. So even if I die, there you go. あと、一撃で全ての倉庫は突破されます。Okay, like with the next or remaining attack, all of the, what was Soko, like the armor? Yeah, as for all of the armor, it will be penetrated or pierced. Breakthrough penetration. Yeah. Okay. So the Shito have been doing this attack. There they are. They look like, it looks like a giant water bear, and destroying the armor in large chunks. So he's saying basically, with the next attack, they'll all be destroyed. Ananda wa yo. Like this is like we're counting on you. Asuka. Ashe. So here's the Shito that has been attacking. There's the nerve headquarters, the ceiling above the nerve headquarters, I guess. Zoo, 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 zoo. Oide nasutta wa ne. So like, come on. Nah. Like, rubbed in? That can't be right. Nasutta wa ne. It's rubbed in, isn't it? I don't think that's it. The English went with here it comes. Oide can mean like come. Usually it's used to tell someone to come. But I'm not sure what nasutta really means there. Anyway, it's coming. I guess that's the Shito head poking through. Shinji nanka inaku tatte. Inaku tatte. Okay, so Shinji or whatever not being here. Anna no watashi hitori de. And that's sort of a thing. I alone. Everything seems, anyway. Ocha no ko sai sai yo. A tea child sai sai. Am I reading the same story? Why did this suddenly just get incomprehensible? A cinch? It's a cinch sai sai. A frequent cinch. Why did this all get incomprehensible? The English went with all on my own, which is really what I would have translated that as. Maybe she's just saying like it's a cinch, and sai meaning sai is usually a way to say like the most of something. So it's the most easiest cinch. The easiest piece of cake. So there's the Shito up there. Ike. Like, go. All right, well, there's Shinji. I guess we're transitioning. Okay, we're transitioning away from that and going to Shinji and Kaji. Okay, they're in some underground passage. He's thinking, Ji hibiki ga hagashiku natta ki ga suru. Okay, so like the earth trembling, or the ground trembling became severe or became harsh. Have a feeling the earth trembling became harsh. Yeah, the earth tremor. Jihibiki, subterranean rumbling. Shito wa do natandaro. As for the Shito, like what happened, I wonder. Okay. P. More underground caverns and strange doors. Koko wa, as for this place, Nani Neruvu wa minkanjin no shiranai shisetsu wo ippai motteru tte koto sa? Okay. Okay, well, or whatever. As for nerve, the civilian's unknown shisetsu, unknown facilities, keep goofing with that word. O ippai motteru tte koto sa. Okay, so as for nerve, it's the event of saying, or the situation of saying that nerve has lots of facilities unknown to the civilians. Okay, so Sokora no shelter. Sokora no shelter yori danzen tsukuri ga ii. Riareru. No. Riareru de Geofront までのアクセスもバッチリだしね。Okay. So more than the shelter over there, Danzen. Firmly or definitely or absolutely the construction is good. Okay, so this place, the construction is definitely firmly better than the shelter over there. And from or with the linear rail and up until the geofront access, even that is like bachiri. It's good. It's spot on. Yeah, right on the mark. 駅の地下にこんなとこがあるなんて? Okay, so underneath the station, this sort of a place existing or whatever, or like, so like this thing or existing in a place like this under the train station where they were. ... Okay, he's checking it out and he's thinking, Hijo yo shokuryo konnani ippai. These are boxes. So emergency use food, this sort of a lot. Like there's a lot of emergency food down here. Sateto, well, 俺がネルフをスパイしてる理由をまだ君に教えてなかったな。Okay, so I, spying on Nerve, the reason, still to you haven't told. I still haven't told you why I've been spying on Nerve. This is the first time I think we've heard him actually kind of confirm it, right? I mean, 別に興味ないですけど, like otherwise interest does not exist. Like I don't really care. I'm not really interested in that. まあ、そうよなよ。身も蓋もないだろう. Okay, this is some sort of expression. Soul. Okay, so well, that way don't talk. Don't say it that way. Mi mo futamo. Something about a lid. Oneself or even the lid or the cover don't exist. This means point blank. Like it's not, yeah, don't say it that way. It's not point blank, it's not blunt. Mi mo futamo, or they don't exist, right? すべてはセカンドインパクトがきっかけだった。Okay, so everything, the second impact, I guess, is the motive. It's the second impact as the motive or the the occasion. As for everything, as for everything, the second impact was like the start, is what kicked it off. Are, that thing, meaning the second impact, are ga okita chokugo wa hidori arasama datta yo. That thing, like directly after it occurred, as for horrible state it was. Arisama, affairs. Yeah. Horrible circumstances in the aftermath of that. Directly afterwards. Souzo dekiru kai. Imagination is possible. In other words, can you imagine it? Toshi wa kai metsushi. As for towns, destruction. So towns destroyed. Hito wa sumo basho mo naku. And as for people, places to live also not existing. People having no place to live. Shokuryo wa fusoku shi. As for food, insufficient, and things like that. Kazoe kirenai hodo no hito ga shinda. Okay, and this is like an uncountable number of people died. Kazoe kirenai, or a number without end to that extent of people died. Ore no ryoshin mo shinda yo. And my parents also died, you know. Ore to yotsu shita no ototo dake da ga nokosareta. So I and yotsu shita no ototo dake. I would have thought this would have been 4 younger brothers, only those remained. The English went with my younger brother, who was 4 years younger, survived or lived, remained. I would have taken this as like 4, but maybe yotsushita is a way to say like a relative age of years. I don't know how we would look that up. Yeah. So either way, we'll find out maybe. その頃はそうした親を亡くした子供がゴロゴロしていた。Oh, like as for in those times, that way did father, I guess, children whose fathers had died like that, goro goro shiteta. They were goro goro. Thundering, rumbling. They were something large and heavy, scattered about. I guess that's probably it. They're scattered everywhere. There were kids whose fathers or parents had died. Daga, そんな子供たちを放ってはおけんだろう? However, those sorts of kids leaving alone, like it did not leave them alone, right? 国はそうした子を手当たり次第に集めて. So as for the country, or like as for the government, the kids that were done that way, meaning the kids that were orphaned that way, 手当たり次第に集めて, gathering them up in this way. 手当たり次第, this is all one thing. Haphazardly, at random, indiscriminately. So the country, the government collected or gathered up indiscriminately the kids that had happened to. 養護室に放り込んだ. And I guess left in this is probably like an orphanage facility, a yogo. A protection facility. Yogoshitsu. Horikomu. Thrown into, that's a better term. They were thrown into protection facilities. Daga, however, 教えてみろ, like, let's try to teach, or like, let me try to tell you. 国中に何十万という孤児がいるんだ. Throughout the country, several tens of 10,000, so some several 100,000 of orphans were existed. There were hundreds of thousands of orphans throughout the country. Koji. Koji, just to confirm, that means orphan. There it is, orphan, right there. 小さな施設はすぐにパンク状態さ. So as for the small facilities, soon it was a panku condition. That does not sound good. A panku, like pancake? A puncture or bursting. It was a bursting condition. 食料も衣類も不足して寝る場所だって奪い合いだ. Okay, so even food and even irui, garments and clothes, were insufficient, were lacking, and sleeping places, talking about those, they were ubai, which is like stolen together. Ibai, scrambling for. Those were the circumstances, scrambling for a place to sleep. 世話人の数も足りないから、規律だけは異常に厳しくてな. So caretakers, the numbers of caretakers also were, because they were insufficient. 規律 Kiritsu is discipline or rules or regulations. Only those. Dakewa. Ijo ni were abnormally strict. Okay, so because the number of caretakers were few, basically as for the rules or regulations, they were exceedingly strict. スパイの話じゃなかったんですか? So a story about a spy, like, wasn't this supposed to be a story about a spy? スパイの話じゃなかったんですか? 悪かったな。前振り長くて. So like, sorry, the The prologue is long. Sorry for the long prologue. Maefuri, the before the preface, the introduction. とにかく in any case, 我慢ができなくなって、俺たちは脱走した。Okay, so in any case, perseverance, unable to do, became unable to persevere or endure it. And as for us, escaped, or we fled. Dasso. Yeah, deserted, escaped. 俺と弟と okay, probably just one brother. 俺と弟と他に仲間を5人連れてな。I and my younger brother and other friends, 5 of them, accompanied or took along. そんでもってあとは大決まりのコースさ。Sondemote is and so as for the remainder, it was the decided course, like course of action. And so he says otsumari te. You talk about otsumari, a decision. Otsumari no kosu, the course of the decision. Wakaru daro, you understand, right? Ku tame ni wa, as for in order to eat. Dorobo toka hitakuri toka, thieving or thieves, and hitaku, purse snatching, stealing. Okay, so that's like, and the rest was like the decided course. Decided, you get it right, in order to eat, being a thief, purse snatching. Spy no mae wa dorobo dattan desu ka? So like, as for before a spy, like you were a thief. そうでもしなきゃいけて、生きてけなかったんだよ。そうでもしなきゃ. Like, if I didn't do it that way, I wouldn't be alive. だが, however, 世界中が飢えてる時にそうそう食うものが手に入るわけじゃない。Okay, so, however, throughout the world, 飢えてる時に, doesn't 飢えてる mean to sprout? Oh, it does, but this means to starve. So, like the starving, towards the starving time, and eating things. I don't know what he's trying to say here. Soul. I guess throughout the world, in a time of starving, soon after or just after eating things, getting reason it is not. I don't know what he's going for. The English went with, but everywhere we scavenged was being picked by other refugees too. Throughout the world, scavenging, or no, starving times. It was not like a case of getting things to eat in a time of starving. I think that's just what he's saying. There's nothing about other refugees here. そんな時、偶然見つけたのが, in a time like that, or in times like those, naturally found, or naturally discovered, or unexpectedly discovered. ょうどここみたいな軍の食料倉庫さ。ちょうど。ちょうど is like just right or exactly. So like exactly this place like. Okay, so and a soko is a warehouse, I think. Yeah. So an army food warehouse exactly like this place. So he's saying in a time like that, we unexpectedly discovered an army food warehouse exactly like this place. And I think that's where we're going to pause. This is roughly halfway through the chapter. He's in kind of his flashback. I think that will be a good place to stop off. We will pick up with this next time and see what happened with this place they discovered.